So everybody already knows about the Ingersoll Lockwood stuff. The books from the late 1800s, the ones that predicted a boy named Baron Trump, guided by a man named Don who would find portals in Russia. Those books, they were strange enough. But what I didn't know was that in 1953, a rocket scientist named Wernher von Braun wrote a book that may have predicted Elon Musk in general. The book was called Project Mars, a technical tale. It wasn't fiction in the usual sense. He broke down how it would work, what kind of ships we would need, how long it would take, and even what the government structure might look like once we got there. And in that story, the leader of the Martian colony, the one responsible for governing the new civilization on Mars, his name was called Elon, not as a name, as a title, like president, like chancellor, like Elon Musk, President Musk, shit like that. The book was written in 1953. Elon Musk was born in 1971. Now, the second that I found that, I started digging because I've seen fake screenshots before, fake quotes, AI generated nonsense. So I wanted to see the original German manuscript for myself. And here's the thing, someone already did that for me, so I didn't have to do it. Someone pulled up that actual book, translated it back then, and tried to debunk the rumor. But when they read the original text, it confirmed it. The word used in the German version was Elon, not as a person's name, but as the title, the ruler of Mars. A 5-year term, a council of administrators, houses of parliament. They didn't just make up a society, they gave it a structure, a government order, and the person at the top of it all was the Elon. And that's when things started lining up in ways that doesn't make sense, not unless something bigger is going on. Because if you back up a bit, this isn't even the first time fiction like this has overlapped with real people. In 1893, Ingersoll Lockwood writes the Baron Trump's marvelous underground journey. It follows a boy named Baron Trump who finds a secret portal to Russia. He travels to Russia. He's guided by a man named Don. A few years later, Lockwood publishes another book called The Last President. That book starts with civil unrest in the beginning in New York as an outsider president wins the presidency. People on Fifth Avenue riot in the same place on Fifth Avenue where Trump Tower stands today. The books go silent for over a century. Nobody talks about him. Then Trump becomes president, and suddenly these books are like prophecy. But there's one more thing, one more piece that people forget to mention, that in 1943, Nikola Tesla passes away in New York. The United States government immediately seizes all of his documents, blueprints, notebooks, everything. And the man that they chose to review Tesla's work, a government scientist named John G. Trump, Donald Trump's uncle, not shitting you. This is documented. This is public record. So now follow this timeline. 1889, Lockwood publishes a book about Baron Trump and the portals. 1900, he publishes The Last President, featuring a man named Don and chaos at Fifth Avenue. 1943, Tesla passes away. Trump's uncle reviews the files. 1953, Wernher von Braun writes the Project Mars. The leader of Mars is called Elon. 1971, Elon Musk is born. 2002, Musk founds SpaceX. 2017, someone discovers the Project Mars detail. Musk tweets, "This is not real." 2020s, Elon becomes the richest man on Earth, owns the largest space company in the world, and is building ships to go to Mars. So I have to ask, was von Braun just making lucky guesses? Or did he know something? But listen, von Braun wasn't just some writer. He was a rocket scientist from Germany in World War II. He was a German rocket scientist. Read between the lines. He was brought to the United States under Operation Paperclip, a secret United States program to grab German scientists before the Soviets could. And we cleaned up his past and gave him a future. He led the development of the V-2 rocket in World War II, and after that, he helped create the Saturn rocket that sent humans to the moon. I don't know why I said moon like that. He's not a sci-fi author. He's a government asset, a visionary, a genius. And in one of the speculative playbooks that he publishes, he writes that the future government of Mars will be ruled by someone called the Elon. People will argue that this is just a coincidence, right? Why is it always just a coincidence? It's a coincidence until it's not, right? How many times do you have to predict the future before it stops becoming random? Ingersoll Lockwood writes about the Trump family in the 1800s, down to the names and the locations. Tesla works on reality-bending energy devices. Trump's uncle is the one who reads those files. Von Braun imagines the ruler of Mars and calls him Elon, right? And then a century later, a man named Elon Musk starts building rockets and trying to go to Mars. What's the odds of that? Governing communications, pushing for AI, embedding chips into brains, colonizing the stars, and we're supposed to believe it's all just a coincidence. Just chance. I'm not saying this proves we're in a simulation, but If we are, someone left the script laying out in the open, and now we're just watching people act it out. Word for freaking word. The question becomes, are we watching prophecy unfold, or are we watching a freaking rerun? Damn it, man.